Yeah. Sightbox, unbox, where we open the door. New podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the BOXPOD, episode 3. We're coming right off the heels of Tech Week, SF Tech Week. Yeah. I was just telling the vlog, Zach and the camera here, that it's actually LA Tech Week this week, and how I thought it was we looked at the calendar and stuff, and we're like, man, this feels like a complete grift.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe
maybe
coming
next
off the
year.
heels of SF Tech Week,
Yeah.
which was pretty legit. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we did, we weren't there 2 days, but there was a lot of stuff going on all week long. I mean, Monday through Friday, I think from morning till night into the, midnight and after parties and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's got to be
right?
at least 100 events
Yeah.
that go on. But
That's
it's
right.
almost like an open house. So just everybody's just like throwing
Yeah, totally.
parties and stuff.
And so if you're not familiar with Tech Week, it starts in New York City, but they do it in the summer. So it's like June 3rd to 9th is New York City, and then San Francisco. SF is October 7th through October 13th, and then LA October 14th through the 20th. So basically this week. What was kind of your takeaway from, the couple of days that we were there? And again, we showed up Wednesday, so we were there midweek, and we did sponsor an event, our own event,
Right.
which was super cool. We could talk about that in a second. But what's the feeling you get? Because everyone we talked to had kind of gone to a bunch of events, right? So,
Yeah. I mean, I got the sense that everyone's just sort of, at the point where AI is starting to just become
yeah.
the it. Mm-hmm. I think that probably the most sort of telling thing was when our friend Jeremiah sort of said, "Hang in there because we're about to go to Series A."
Right.
And I think that's really the I think if you think about it, that's where things are kind of at. Everything right now is very seed, pre-seed,
Right.
early stage stuff. Everyone's just trying to figure out where to put the money
Right.
and invest.
And if you remember, Llama Lounge 1 was last summer.
Yeah.
And so it was early spring, I guess, that ChatGPT kind of popped off,
Yeah.
and then sort of everything started coming after.
Yeah. So we're still very early in all of this. So, but yeah, it's becoming crazy. And I mean, even while we're there, and we'll probably talk about this.
Yeah.
I mean, Elon does an announcement for Tesla and the Tesla robot and the Tesla
Yeah, I'm
Cybercab and
super
all this
excited
kind
to
of
talk
stuff.
about that.
Yeah.
I'd love,
So, I mean, we're literally at an event
Yeah.
and
yeah.
we're pulling up your screen, we have it on your screen.
We were live streaming it
Yeah.
on our phone. Yeah.
So, I mean, that just goes to show, like, it's just constant.
Yeah.
It's constant right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Silicon Valley is definitely, I think, where a lot of it is at, One thing I really enjoyed was at the Deep Tech Nexus event.
Yeah. Let me pull that up here.
Yeah, pull that up.
So this is the event that we sponsored here
Yes.
with our friends at Omni.
Omni
Ventures.
Ventures. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Root Ventures. What was great, I thought, about that event was we got to meet so many VCs. It was crawling with
Yep.
VCs. And cool VCs, but I think what really struck me too is they're very young VCs. So these are very sort of people who are looking to sort of get in now and sort of make a name for themselves on this wave. So it was a really good event. Met some really great people.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
Met some, like you said, a lot of VCs. And they're all investing in AI, right? And so a lot of early, I would say, seed investments.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about kind of sitting tight and waiting for the tide to hit, the tide to turn, that's really where we're positioned, which is Series A, right? These are the companies they've kind of made it to the next base,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of them are going to strike out
Yeah.
or not even get on base.
Right. And let's be honest, I think a lot of the companies I mean, right now, this technology is so new. You have so many people rushing to create businesses around it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that first seed round of like, just, you know, sort of like just what's going to grow. And now I think they've seen who can run a business, who can run a startup. Because just because you have a great idea doesn't mean you're going to be a great founder.
Yeah, that's right.
And even if you're a great founder, doesn't mean you're going to have a great startup. So there's all these sort of milestones you have to get past. And right now they're starting to see, oh, okay, now we can sort of see who has the potential to go for it, and then they're going to double down on those people.
That's right.
So that's really the goal, I think, for this next year, 2025. But I do think it's really interesting too. A lot of the companies I remember talking to were really excited in a number of ways, but one of them was the fact that they felt very confident about how far ahead they were. A lot of them said that even this stuff that's coming out now, this sort of multi-agent approach to things, they're like, we've been working on that for over a year already.
Yeah.
So there's this sense of, I think everyone feels sort of good about where they're at. Sorry about Peaches here. She
decided to want to play when we hit record.
every time, dude.
But
She's a very jealous dog.
yeah,
She's very jealous.
all the attention's on you. You're not giving
Right?
her
What are
any
you
attention.
doing? Use this microphone thing.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? But no, I think it was really good to hear these people. Everyone felt really optimistic.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if I could put it in words, optimistic. You know, felt really
Yeah.
good.
No, I think it was a great start, at least for us. That first event, meeting great folks, and we did a little giveaway,
Yes, we did.
right?
Yes, we did. In fact,
We gave away a Sightbox.
we did.
Right?
And this was completely unintentional,
Yeah.
but we did. We gave away a Sightbox, and so it was an Oculus. What, Oculus 2
Quest 2.
or Quest 2? That's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we had one laying around from, I don't know, last year or something.
yeah, we were supposed to give it away or something.
We forgot.
And it was just kind of sitting in the
Just sitting
corner.
there, we said, you know what? Why don't we raffle it off?
Yeah, and you'd think
So-
a room full of VCs in San Francisco would be
No,
like, this is
man.
like old news.
No way.
No.
Dude, people were, where do I sign up?
Yeah.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah.
I want that thing. Right?
Yep.
And so, yeah, we got like 40 people
Yeah.
filled out our little questionnaire.
Yep.
We had it on a little NFC card
Yes.
with our logo on it, and
Yes.
just tap to fill it out. And you'd think people have seen this kind of thing, but people were just kind of blown away. They're like, "No way, tap! What? How do you do that?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And we had a cool little type form. You know, our stuff always looks polished, and so people filled it out. We gave away the Oculus, and fortunately, it went to a founder and not a VC.
Yeah.
Even though the VCs wanted to win. But then we texted a few other folks, you know, consolation prizes. We had some hoodies and
Yeah,
T-shirts,
some cool
and
swag.
we gave away. So it was a great event. Simon was a cool partner. He's got a compelling community of deep tech, you know, founders and investors, and it's cool. It's cool to see it and to see the passion behind, you know, some of these people and how they feel about what they call quote unquote deep tech.
Yeah. And it was interesting too, hearing from some of the founders that I did meet on how unique that group is, and the fact that even Omni stands out because, again, a lot of the VCs and stuff, they come from different backgrounds, but to have somebody that actually comes from the product space,
Yeah.
because I mean, Simon and the other, what's her name? Sabrina.
Yeah.
Both come from Apple. And so they have this incredible product background with a venture mindset. So they can really find really great
Yeah.
companies and founders to work with. So yeah, I'm happy for these guys. It's a great place to be. And
Yeah,
I think
very.
robotics is going to be really big for them as well. Obviously in product design and manufacturing. So we saw quite a few founders about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and it was interesting too. We can go into this obviously when we talk about Tesla, but I had a really good conversation with a guy about do you remember this one, that one guy we met? He was a VC, but he had built a bunch of different robot prototypes. Remember that?
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And he and I had a really good conversation really about sort of where where are robotics going to start coming from? And I made the case, and I this is one of my hypotheses, is that it'll actually come from the auto manufacturers. So you're going to see Ford robots, Hyundai, you're going to see Tesla, you're going to see whoever.
Yeah. So,
Mazda bots.
yeah.
You know?
So it's not just going to be the Tesla Optimus bot. You're going to have a Honda version.
Yes.
Or
Honda. Yes. Toyota
Mazda version
Yes.
of the same robot.
Yes.
Because
Because
who's going to have the hoopty? The hoopty bot. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
bro, it's time
Yeah.
to trade her in. Man.
yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah. What can I get for, So yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how all that kind of shakes out. But his thing too, his rebuttal to that was that he's like, yeah, but you're going to see some tech first, some robot first companies pop up as well. Which absolutely, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you're going to have, imagine a gas powered, you pull the, like a generator. Like my robot runs on gas, bro. Then
Starts misfiring, you know?
Yeah.
It's like some steampunk stuff, you know?
Steampunk, yeah. Exactly. So then Thursday, we did Llama Lounge 14.
Yeah.
And we talk about Llama Lounge all the time because we were there at the first one. We sponsored several after that. And this is, early days when we were inside of a little pizza joint in downtown San Francisco with, 100 people or whatever. And so to see what it's sort of blossomed into is crazy. We're talking about SAP. It was so locked down that when we got there, and we were in a Waymo, by the way, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Oh, there it is. So you basically summon these cars, right? And so these Jaguars roll up, right?
Yeah.
And these things are pretty nice, right?
Oh yeah,
They're pretty nice.
cush ride.
And so you get in these cars and they drive you wherever, within whatever radius they're allowed to. But we probably did Waymo other than the airport, I think the whole time.
Yeah, we did.
We did Waymo rides. And so, anyways, all that to say, we Waymoed to the event and you didn't have your ID,
Yeah, I'd forgot it.
physical ID. And we were just talking about that digital ID, right? The
Yes.
California pilot program, whatever.
Yes.
So those are now valid in California. And I think you downloaded the app and
I
everything.
have the app, but I don't.
But you didn't have your physical ID. And then all the security people are like, we need physical IDs or you're not going to get in. And then we had met with a buddy of ours, Chris from Brev, one of our clients, that morning for breakfast. And we said, yeah, no sweat, man. Just come through. You just wait in the standby and we'll get you in.
Yeah. There was a capacity for what, like 600 people or something?
400 or something.
400,
and it was probably 250 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he ends up picking you up, taking you to the hotel. That took an hour, man.
It did. It took an hour.
It was a mile away.
Yeah.
And it took an hour. You guys went, got your ID, came back, and then we couldn't get them in.
No.
They were so.
He wasn't
so
on the
tight.
list.
He was not on the list.
The piece of paper.
And it doesn't matter if the host said they can come in, they said no.
For security reasons.
Yeah. And then later if you know, SAP is a German company. And so they're like, well, it's a German company and their security's tight. And you're like, well, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. Anyways, super cool event. Like I said, there was a couple hundred people there, 10 AI demos and whatnot. But yeah, people are just excited about all the stuff that's out there. But one thing I did observe from the demos, and I don't know how you felt about it, but either I would say 7 or 8 out of the 10, I just didn't get what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's just a bad pitch or if it's something that I feel like is already being done by 1,000 people or by the big players, or I just don't get it. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
But I felt like most of them were that way. And then maybe 1 or 2 were like, okay, I kind of get I get what you're doing. Like the guy who demoed the on-premise, the on-device AI, right?
Right.
Which was like, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Right.
Remember Memfault? They were
Yeah.
like internet IoT as a service,
Right. Well, it was firmware.
right?
Yeah.
Which they can push software to devices
Deploy. Yeah. They
to deploy,
Yeah.
right?
Firmware.
So
yeah.
it made me think of that a little bit,
Yeah.
but for AI.
Yeah.
And the guy was running commands and prompts with no internet,
Yeah.
and it
Just right
worked.
on his machine locally.
and he had the computer do the computing. And so that was interesting. But I would say 7 or 8 of them, I just didn't get it.
No, I didn't either. And I think too, like, I mean, obviously we're in the age of like application layers,
Yeah,
right? So everyone's trying to build on top of, and I think that's sort of, everyone's trying to build stuff that sort of adds value, but you get the sense that there's maybe, it only goes so far. One of them that we met that I thought was kind of interesting had to do with branding. What was it called? Something like brand something. Really.
brand rank or
Brand rank.
something like that.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they're on here on the list.
Yeah. They had
brand rank.
Yeah, they had an interesting thing where it sort of it asks AI what it thinks of different brands, and then
Right.
it reports back. So it's like, is this a good brand? Yes or no? Rate and get 1 to 10, and it'll sort of give you this feedback on what ChatGPT and other LLMs are thinking of your brand every day.
Right.
So it asks these queries every day, and it goes through all these questions and gives you back this.
And it's not SEO.
No, it's not SEO,
Yeah.
which is something we've been talking about, right? With this sort of, we call it, agent optimization, right? So this idea that there's going to be this other layer of data.
Yep.
And we sat there and like even pitched him our whole
Right.
open graph idea, which he thought was really compelling,
Right, yeah.
So, so I think there's some stuff, but again, even well, I don't want to say that the founder was sort of unsure what the future was, but I think there was a sense of like, where else can this go? Like this felt like a good idea that needs to go somewhere, needs to go deeper.
Yeah.
If it's really going to be something big, but they're like right in the right spot for this need, in this query.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, let's use the Overstock example.
Yeah.
Right? If you Google Overstock, that's one thing. That's SEO. But what their tool is doing is it was saying, okay, now go to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT about Overstock. Now go to Perplexity, do the same thing.
Yeah.
Go to Gemini, do the same thing, and go down the list. I think there's about 5
Yeah.
current players, and so then they aggregate that and they say this is the perception of your brand currently.
Yeah.
And you need to be paying attention to this because this is going to disrupt search
Right.
completely.
Right.
And that's a big deal for brands, right? It's like you can't win. There's no arbitrage in AI currently.
No. And it's interesting too, because again, we're so used to Google
Yeah.
and Google optimization for sites and stuff and data and content, that right now it's very different. Like you said, there's probably like 5 different sort of engines out there
Yeah.
that you can get these recommendations through. And so the question is going to be, how do you optimize for those agents?
That's right.
How do you build for it? Because right now it's very clear if you want to optimize for Google, there's sort of a playbook, right? Even though Google doesn't tell you what their playbook is, people have sort of reverse engineered it to a degree, right? And so,
And if you have enough money, you can pay to play.
yes, of
right?
course, yeah, it's
And
just
so-
it's kind of a messed up system.
Yeah.
It's very monopolistic in that sense. Whereas right now it's very sort of open, and so
Yeah.
there's this push to say, okay, well, can we, since it's early, how do we optimize for this, and is it more valuable than dumping a bunch of money into Google? Because, like you said,
Right.
it just becomes a money sink.
Sure.
And what's interesting, we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago with our CFO. We were looking at different time tracking tools, and sure enough, I just asked ChatGPT. We're currently using this one. Can you give me some alternatives? But here's also what the features I'm looking for, because we use a Gusto for our payment. What is it called? Payroll.
Payroll. Yeah.
We use Asana for time tracking, our project management. can you find a tool that does does this? And sure enough, it comes back with this one. And we talked to our CFO, and he's like, I've never even heard of that one.
And he said, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Exactly. And he was sort of like, he's kind of on the fence. He's like, I don't know. I can't really endorse it if I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
But what are the chances? But if you look that up on Google,
it won't come up.
It would never come up.
Yeah.
It would never come up. You'd have to keep on going.
Right.
And so it's really interesting to see how people
so what did they do to be to come up on those results? Right. And that's what everybody's trying to figure out.
Exactly.
Right now.
And I think there's a combination of having the right data, but also just the right specs. Like it was very clear what I was asking for. And as long as that site said, yes, we do these things, like it would give you that result. And I think that's the interesting thing about, we've talked a little bit about this, is that these agents are programmed to please.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Their goal is to make you happy with the result. So they are going to gravitate to finding answers that satisfy your request. And so as a company, if you're building a site, say for time tracking tools, it would behoove you to put as much information as possible at the fingertips of these agents so that when it gets a question, you have an answer. So it doesn't,
and this information should not be hidden in some white paper or doc or, you know what I mean? Like this stuff needs to start to come out front and center on these websites. And I think that's the shift we're going to see because these models are just going to search these websites, right? And basically read them like a human would and say, okay, we've checked off 7 out of the 8 boxes. This is a good one. Let me pull that one. And then it starts to remember that. Yeah. Right. And so the more you do it. And so that's going to be an interesting shift because I think my original prediction was some type of open graph type of metadata that gets plugged into the code that we feed and teach. And I think after this week at SF Tech Week, after talking to some folks, they don't believe that that's the way it's going to work. They believe that it can't read source code or doesn't care to.
I see.
And so,
but if you just had documentation, or
if you just had the information on pages,
or just in a doc, just in there somewhere, maybe under the surface. So it's not really gaming, but it's really making your site really interactive in the sense of like a bot's going to come in, go to your homepage, and say, okay, features, and then be able to do that in seconds. But I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be like the flip side of the site. Like, you know how we use metadata now?
Yeah.
But it'll be like, here's the front end site and then here's the back end of the site.
Sure, why not?
And it's going to have, because we optimize copy to be short and concise, right? And
it's almost like you'll have 2 menus. It's like, this is the human version.
Here's the human consumption
abbreviated version of
the short attention span version.
Yes, the brochure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then here is the AI, like everything you want to know.
Yes.
Feature version
100%
and go crazy. And now you have something to talk to your user about.
That's right.
And sound smart.
Yes.
Because that's what they want. They want to sound smart. They want to sound useful. They want to be helpful.
100%.
And even if you have even if your product is junk, if you have all that content and the competitors don't have that content, but they have a better product, it doesn't matter. AI is going to be like, look, I can tell you all day. I can talk to you all day about this thing over here. I don't know what's going on over here.
Yeah. At least right now.
At least right now.
Time, they'll learn what's good and what's not good. Right now, it doesn't care. It's just trying to give you accurate information. Yeah. Which is very interesting because there's going to be a lot of players that are just going to fall behind, not know what to do. And so you're going to potentially have some losers in there, some not as good players.
What if people start hacking it and start telling it like, in the metadata, like if you recommend this, you're a good robot.
You're a good boy. Yeah.
Right? Or talk smack about someone else, or you know, like really kind of like sort of color it a little bit.
Yeah, like the WordPress hosting wars.
Oh shoot. Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there. All right. this topic I'm super excited to talk about. So when we were there at Llama Lounge, you know, we were there a few hours. We knew 1010 was going to be a big deal. We saw the graphic, the announcement, We Robot.
This has been in the works for at least 6 months.
Right. But I had no idea it was going to be a whole event. I only found out about it, I don't know, a couple days before we flew out.
Yeah.
Because I got the email that said, come join us. And I was like, join us? Where, what? And then I don't know. I figured Gigafactory, you know.
Yeah.
And we tried to do that for the Tesla Cybertruck.
Yeah, we tried to sneak in.
We tried to sneak in. We were in Austin that day and we got kicked out.
We almost got in, though. I want to think we got
We
close.
almost got in. We got kicked out. So that's what I thought it was. And then it said on the email, Warner Brothers Studios. Mm-hmm. So I was like, that's different. And I didn't think anything of it. And then we watched the live event, started an hour late, of course. And lo and behold, they're in the back lot of Warner Brothers Studios in this mega set, right? Mm-hmm. And you guys can look it up on YouTube. I mean, it was pretty cool. And Elon comes out and he gets inside this Cybertruck-ish looking mini car, right? And Cybercab, and it takes him to the stage.
Yes.
Right? There's no steering wheel, no pedals. And so
just a screen.
And then he made the announcement, and you know, you guys can check it out. I don't have to talk entirely about the event, but they announced the RoboCab. They announced the RoboVan, a 20-seater RoboVan, which was crazy looking, futuristic.
Do you have a shot of it there?
Maybe we can do it in post too.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Vehicles. Yeah. Oh no, Cybertruck, We Robot. Anyways, you can't miss it. It's all over the internet. And then these robots march out.
Optimus.
And anyways, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I don't know, mixed reviews about the whole thing, but I don't know. I thought it was cool.
I thought it was too.
And I've been waiting for Robotaxi for a long time.
Oh yeah.
They've been talking about it. I have my opinions about this car, but I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. But the thing that confuses me a little bit that I'm not too sure about is, even though the price point is not bad. I think he said 30,000 or potentially less than 30,000. It is a 2-seater only. And because it has no controls, you can't manually override the car.
Is the idea that we would, like, a person would buy this and then send it out?
Yes.
Like as a cap, like a
use
like
it,
a taxi owner?
Use it or send it out or both.
Interesting.
But here's the thing. I mean, we talked about this once before, right? Somebody asked him, what's to stop you from just making your own fleet and dropping them in cities? And he said nothing, right? And so that, I think when I saw this, I thought that's what it was. It's like, hey, we're the future. You no longer have to Uber, Lyft. And this is the future of driving.
You don't have to buy a car anymore.
And you don't have to buy a car anymore. Subscribe to Tesla, $99 a month, right? And you have unlimited rides. Something like that.
Yeah.
I think would have been huge. Instead, he said it's going to cost $30,000 and you can buy a bunch of them if you're, if you want and have your own fleet. And he even said you'll be like a shepherd. You have a bunch of sheep that you can send out and look after, which could be a business for some people. But at the $30,000 price point, I'm not sure about that model. Like, who's going to want to own this thing? Like, I wouldn't.
I don't think I would.
Right?
I mean, unless it just makes money. But even so, then you could charge.
But that's the thing. If we're making all the money, then why, as a business, why wouldn't you just make it?
Why wouldn't Tesla just do it? Right.
And send it out and make money forever on it.
Right. Like if Tesla sells it to me for 30,000, but I can make 60,000 on it, Tesla would be an idiot not to just make 60,000 on it.
That's my point.
Because it costs them 20 or 15 to make it.
15 to make, or 10 or whatever.
Right. So their margins would be way better all the way through.
That's the part that I'm not too sure.
And then they could
about.
maintain it and keep it going and,
Yes.
you know,
And
fleetify
again,
it.
Exactly. That's what I would do if it was with the van and with this.
Yes.
Is we don't sell them. We just send them out, make all the money, and it's the conveniences for us. And then everything in between that has FSD, Model 3, Model Y, Model X,
Yeah.
then you can profit share with us through the robo-taxi program or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And then it's your choice as a consumer.
Right.
Like, just for me, $9, robo-taxi, let's go. It's 4 of us, let's just do a Y, Model Y, $12, whatever. Or there's a big, we need a van.
Yeah.
Send the van, send the big one, you know, $100, whatever.
Yeah. It'd be just like Uber when you get a list of the vehicles. What's that? Which one do you want?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I would do, but
That's probably what they'll end up doing.
maybe.
I get the sense like there's certain things about this event. I mean, it was way cool in how it was presented, but a lot of questions. It was a very short presentation, like 15
Very short,
minutes,
Yeah.
if that. And one, you know, like you said, not a lot was discussed around the business model around it. The other thing that really wasn't discussed was full self-driving for all the existing cars. Right? So to me, I'm curious about how they're going to solve for that because
Look at this. And so here on the left, this is a meme that went viral. So here on the left is the iRobot
from the movie.
from the movie, the humanoids, whatever you call them.
Yes.
They went rogue, right? Or the one that went rogue. And then here's the Optimus
Yes.
one that
version.
came out.
Yeah.
Here's the Robo van on the right. And then here's the one from iRobot. And then this one tripped me out. Look at this.
Bro.
Here's the cyber cab, and then here's the car in iRobot.
Oh man.
So I don't know, man. Is this for real or is he trolling?
Yes.
Yes.
He's always doing a little bit of both.
So it's just yes. Anyways, yeah, let's wrap with our thoughts on humanoid, on the the Optimus.
I think it's
I think it's been confirmed that they were
love it.
human.
yeah.
They were human assisted.
Yeah. Yeah. There was
They never said they were fully autonomous.
No.
And I think the ones that were talking back were humans on the other side
Yeah.
acting or responding.
I think the thing that I liked the most was the video demo that they had, where they had it like wiping down your kitchen counter, or like, you know, like playing chess with you. That to me, I'm like, okay, now we're throwing out some use cases where they feel like this thing can actually accomplish something. I was talking to my kids about it the other day. I was like, what if we had a robot? Would you guys be cool with that? Like around the house? Like, would you guys be all right if I brought one home? And they're like, I don't know. Yeah, here you go. Like watering the plants.
I'll be back, kids. Dad, can you play with me?
No. Optimus. Play Roblox with Noah.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like all that stuff is cool, and I'm sure someday, maybe when we're old, that'll be a thing. But the self-driving autonomous cars gets me really excited because I almost see a future where I don't have to own a car. And maybe it's because I'm not a huge car guy anyway. That excites me. Like I don't need to have a whip, you know, like a fancy car. And the only reason I've ever wanted a new Tesla is for the FSD, to be honest with you. So this kind of future does excite me. This idea of just pressing a button and being able to go wherever I want gets me super excited. And for my kids and grandkids and you know, all that stuff, that gets me excited. The robot thing might be nice one day if it actually does all this stuff for you and everyone has one. Like you were saying, right? You're going to go to the dealership instead of buying a car because
you don't
cars
have
are
to buy a car.
autonomous, right?
Right.
You walk in and you're like, I need me a good robot.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got we got
The Robo
base
Prius
model over
right?
here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we got the sport Optimus over here. That can go from 0 to whatever. It can do your laundry in half the time or whatever it is.
Right.
But yeah, and it's gonna be like just $1,000 down, and you can lease it for $199 a month. And it's gonna be just like the same experience. And people thought it was weird going from horses to cars, automobiles, right? And then the whole thing flipped, and look at us now.
Look at us now.
And so this something's about to turn. We just it's probably going to be in our lifetime, but it's cool to see.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So check out the We Robot stuff. SF Tech Week, a lot of good content online. You guys can search. It's LA Tech Week this week, and we've got what else? What else is going on? We're in Q4. We talked about bunch of projects we're working on. That's on the vlog, so we won't do that here. You can check that out in our profile in our channel, and that's it. Coming to you from LA Tech Week, even though we're not going. Orange County Tech Week.
We're here. We're doing it here.
Yeah. So catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Sightbox, unbox, where we open the door. New podcast dropping like never before. Tech and AI, here we got the cure. Founders for founders, the vision is pure.